Picture this. You've given 4 years of your life to something. 4 years of blood, sacrifice, and loyalty to a family that called itself unbreakable. You stood beside them when everyone else turned away. You took the losses they should have taken. You protected them, elevated them, and kept your mouth shut even when it hurt. And then on a Monday night in Seattle, in front of thousands of screaming fans, every single one of them turns around and puts a steel chair across your back. That is the story of Finn Bálor. And if you thought you already knew where this was going, I promise you did not see it end like this. Welcome back to Wrestling Impact. If this is your first time here, you've stumbled into exactly the right place, because tonight we are breaking down one of the most seismic moments in WWE Raw history in recent memory. The Judgment Day has officially turned its back on Finn Bálor, the founding backbone of the group, and the way it went down left the entire wrestling world with its jaw on the floor. So get comfortable, because we are going all the way in on this one. To understand what happened on the March 9th episode of Raw, you have to rewind to 7 days earlier. March 2nd. Dominik Mysterio is defending the Intercontinental Championship against Penta. It's supposed to be a routine night for the Judgment Day. Dirty Dom has been their prize fighter, their golden ticket, and they've never hesitated to bend the rules to keep gold around his waist. McDonagh is at ringside, and in his hands is the ring bell hammer, an instrument of cheating so classic it might as well have its own Hall of Fame plaque. But something goes wrong. Dominik signals. JD moves. And Finn Bálor steps in the way. In that one moment, one split-second decision, Finn Bálor draws a line. Not just in the match. In the soul of the Judgment Day. He looks at Dominik, and he makes a call. You are not cheating your way through this. You're going to fight. You're going to earn it. And if you can't do that, then maybe you're not as great as you think you are. Penta wins. The Intercontinental Championship changes hands. And Dominik Mysterio is livid. Now, here's where it gets psychologically rich, because this wasn't random. This wasn't Finn having a bad night. This was Finn Bálor making a statement about the kind of man he's trying to be. For months, going all the way back to his feud with CM Punk, we've seen subtle shifts in Bálor's character. He shook Punk's hand after their match in Ireland. He thanked him. He said it was the greatest moment of his career. And Punk, ever the Oracle, told him to leave the Judgment Day behind. To bet on himself. To stop being the loyal soldier in someone else's army. Finn heard that. Maybe more than he let on. And the week Dominik lost that title, it was as if something crystallized inside him. He was done carrying this group on his back while pretending it was a family. Fast forward to Seattle. The Climate Pledge Arena is buzzing with that electric Monday Night Raw energy, the kind you can feel through the screen. And then the music hits. Dominik Mysterio comes down to that ring flanked by Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez, and he is furious. Not the kind of furious that's a show. The kind that festers all week and boils over in front of an audience. He says he wants to air this out privately. But Finn is making that impossible. So he calls him out. In front of everyone. In the middle of that ring. And Finn Bálor? He walks out. Head up. No hesitation. McDonagh right beside him. The arena is absolutely electric. You have fans on their feet, some chanting for Finn, some chanting for Dom, because WWE has somehow done something remarkable with this slow burn. They've made you feel the history in this confrontation. For years of shared victories, shared losses, shared championships, now compressed into one tense, crackling moment in the center of the ring. Dominik goes straight for the jugular. He wants to know if Finn went to Adam Pearce and secured him a rematch. He wants answers. He still had that title if it wasn't for what Finn did. He's not wrong, and he knows it. And to Finn's credit, to his genuine, disarming credit, he admits it. He doesn't dodge. He doesn't deflect. He looks Dominik Mysterio in the eyes and says, "Yes, you're right. I made that happen." But he says it with the tone of a man who doesn't apologize for it. Because in Finn's mind, he was teaching him something. Judgment Day is family. He'll always back Dominik. But a man who wants to call himself the greatest Mysterio of all time needs to learn to fight his own battles. The arena holds its breath. And then Finn drops the line that changes everything. Maybe Rey Mysterio was right about his spoiled little son after all. The crowd erupts. Because Finn just weaponized the one thing Dominik Mysterio cannot emotionally survive: the shadow of his father. The man he betrayed. The man who has spent years saying this version of Dominik is exactly who Finn just described. It's not just an insult. It's surgery. It cuts through every layer of Dirty Dom's bravado and goes straight to the identity underneath. Dominik snaps. He shoves Finn right in the face. A pie face, like you'd give someone you dismiss someone you no longer respected. And Finn Balor does not take that lying down. He cracks Dominik with a Pele kick, that gorgeous, spinning bicycle kick that's been one of the signature weapons in his arsenal for decades, and follows it immediately with a sling blade that sends Dirty Dom crashing to the mat. The crowd is going absolutely wild. For a second, it looks like this might just be a Finn vs Dom brawl, a settling of scores between two men who let the tension get the better of them. But then McDonagh grabs Finn, and not in a "let me pull you apart" kind of way. Not in a "calm down, brother" kind of way. He holds Finn in place. And the entire arena realizes at the exact same moment what is happening. McDonagh, Finn Balor's closest friend in that faction. The man Finn mentored. The man who was, by all accounts, the closest thing to a brother Finn had inside Judgment Day. The same man who fought alongside him for championship gold on multiple occasions. The man who returned from injury and stood by his side. McDonagh is holding Finn in place so that Dominik Mysterio can run the ropes and hit a hammer-loaded 619 straight into his skull. Let that sink in for a moment. Because that is not just a betrayal. That is a cold, calculated, premeditated act of cruelty. JD didn't get swept up in the chaos. He made a choice. He picked a side. And the side he picked was not the man who gave him everything. The commentary desk goes silent for a half second, that rare, genuine silence that happens when even the most seasoned wrestling professionals don't quite believe what they're watching. And then the floodgates open. Liv Morgan comes in. Raquel Rodriguez comes in. It's 4 against 1, and Finn Balor is isolated in the center of that ring with nowhere to go. Dominik goes for a frog splash. Then, with a steel chair draped across Finn's chest, he goes for a second one. And the sickening crash of that steel chair absorbing the impact reverberates through the Climate Pledge Arena like a thunderclap. Finn Balor lies there motionless, alone, staring up at the arena lights as the 4 remaining members of the Judgment Day stand over him like a tribunal that's just handed down its final verdict. Guilty. Executed. Excommunicated. Now, I want to talk about what this means on multiple levels, because it's rich with storytelling layers that deserve real attention. On the surface, this is a betrayal. But look deeper, and this is history repeating itself in the most poetic way imaginable. Cast your mind back to 2022. The Judgment Day was formed by Edge, a legend, a Hall of Famer, a man who poured his creative vision into building something that could survive him. He recruited Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley as his lieutenants. And then Edge brought in Finn Balor, his final piece. And what did those 3 do? They turned on Edge. They hit him with a concerto using his own finishing move and cast him out of the group he built. Edge is laughing somewhere right now, I promise you. Then in 2024, the cycle continued when Damian Priest, another man who gave everything to Judgment Day, was betrayed and pushed out, his loyalty and sacrifice treated as liabilities rather than assets. And now Finn Balor, the last original member. The man who outlasted Edge, outlasted Priest, outlasted Rhea Ripley. The man who stuck around when everyone else was gone. He thought he was the immovable cornerstone of this faction, and they just proved that no one is irreplaceable. Not even the man who helped write the rulebook. McDonagh made sure to rub that salt deep into the wound. After Raw went off the air, he took to social media with a pointed message telling Damian Priest to ask Edge how it felt to be on the receiving end of a Judgment Day betrayal. McDonagh essentially confirmed what the segment showed: this wasn't emotional. This was strategic. They've done this before. They'll do it again. The Judgment Day doesn't owe loyalty to anyone. And here's what that tells us about where this story is going. Because WWE does not spend months, and we are talking months, of slow burn, slow drip tension to end the story on one brutal beatdown. The betrayal isn't the finale. It's the ignition. It's the moment Finn Balor stops being a reluctant hero and becomes a man with something to prove, a score to settle, and nothing left to lose. Think about what WrestleMania 42 is shaping up to be. The grandest stage in all of professional wrestling. And now you potentially have a Finn Balor who has been stripped of his faction, stripped of his comfort zone, and backed into the corner of a man who must either evolve or disappear. Some of the most compelling WrestleMania moments in history have come from exactly that kind of pressure cooker. When a performer has no choice but to reach down and find something new, something raw, something real, that's when legends are made. Dominik Mysterio, meanwhile, has positioned himself beautifully. He's the Intercontinental Champion who lost the title in a moment of Finn's moral clarity. And now he's extracted his revenge in the most violent, public way possible. The heat on Judgment Day right now is nuclear. Fans in that arena were absolutely furious watching that beatdown, and that fury is exactly the kind of fuel that a great wrestling rivalry needs to reach its peak. And let's not overlook the role of Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez in all of this. These women have been the quiet engines of Judgment Day's longevity, and their participation in that beatdown signals total faction unity. Whatever internal fractures existed between Liv and Raquel over the past several months, they have resolved at least for now under a shared purpose: protect the group, eliminate the complication. That complication was Finn Balor. Now he's gone. And the question that's burning through every wrestling fan's mind right now is simple: what does Finn Balor look like without the Judgment Day? Because in a very real sense, we haven't seen it in 4 years. We haven't seen Finn Balor truly operating as a solo performer without a faction propping him up or a stable giving him purpose. The last time we saw him fully on his own, he was the Universal Champion, a reign that lasted less than 24 hours before injury stole it from him. That wound has never fully healed. And standing in that ring in Seattle, with steel chair impressions on his chest and his former brothers standing over him in triumph, I think something finally broke open inside Finn Balor. Not his spirit. Not his will. Something more dangerous than that. His patience. CM Punk told him to bet on himself. Finn spent months debating whether to listen. The Judgment Day just made that decision for him. There is no going back now. There is no reunion, no diplomatic resolution, no handshake and forgiveness. The bridge is not just burned, it's ash. And a man with nothing to lose and something to prove is the most terrifying kind of opponent in professional wrestling. WrestleMania 42 is weeks away. The road there has just become infinitely more compelling for everyone involved. And if you're watching this right now and you feel something, if you feel angry for Finn, or excited about what comes next, or just genuinely in awe of a story that's been told with this much patience and precision, that's what great professional wrestling does. It makes you feel things. It makes you care. And Monday Night Raw reminded us on March 9th, in Seattle, that they are still absolutely capable of delivering moments that will be talked about for a very long time. This is Wrestling Impact. If you're not subscribed yet, now is the time, because we are heading into WrestleMania season, and every single week is going to bring something worth breaking down. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Where do you think Finn Balor goes from here? Is WrestleMania 42 the stage for his redemption? And most importantly, did McDonagh make the biggest mistake of his career on Monday night? Let's talk about it. The ring is yours.